name?
Lael.
Leo.
Lael.
I will tell you this, as far as energetically, reading the room has been a big help for me because it'll show me exactly how I need to present myself. So I will say that.
Is that a book or is that some knowledge? What are you referring to? Why are you laughing? I'm asking you a question that means something to me.
Questions because you're very interesting to me.
Well, I'm
to all of us. Lael is something.
I'm perplexed. Is that a book I've missed out on? What do you mean?
Well, this is the thing, because you're so tapped in energetically, and I appreciate that. I don't really find others tapped in like that. So that's what I admire about you.
Well, thank you.
What I'm is body language. Read the room.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any other questions?
I'm going to get better at that. Ethan, do you have any questions? Ethan is new with us tonight.
Hi, Ethan.
Questions.
Hi. Good evening. I do have a question for Miss Stephanie, if I could. And you might have to excuse me for a moment. Afterward, I need to grab my laptop charger before it dies on me. But so earlier, Stephanie, you said you can't work a business and grow business at the same time. And as a young business owner, how can I set an example for those that I work with and grow? How can I grow my business and set the example by leading or being, showing them what I expect or the outcome I want?
Okay.
How can you do both?
The first thing, as a good leader, never have anyone do something for you that you're not willing to do yourself. As far as when you set up all the rules, be the first one to follow them yourself. Second of all, critique the people who are around you. Are they as strong as you or stronger? Okay. Then the next thing that you must look at, like I said, you must tweak. But when I say you cannot grow a business, okay, at the same time you work a business. If you have strong people around you, you will become the delegator. You design the business and you delegate. All right. So when you delegate, that gives you time to be the navigator to go get more business. Because to grow a business, you must walk in those steps of growing the business. Okay. The people who you hire must be qualified. Let's go to Oprah Winfrey. She never had a magazine, but she went and got people who knew how to run a magazine. Then what she did was grow the brand. See what I'm saying? So she became bigger than Martha Stewart because she knew that secret. So grow slow. Remember, I told you I grew too fast. Okay. So by growing too fast, I was not able to keep my hands around it. Okay. When you grow slow, the mistakes are small. When you grow fast, the mistakes became big. Mine became, I was desperate that needed someone to help take all of this off of me. And maybe if I wasn't in that space, I would have probably interviewed 10 or 15 people. See what I'm saying? So tweak your business. Remember the SWOT analysis. Know your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunity, and your threats. What do you want to do? You want to make sure that when it comes to your weaknesses, you start bringing in the weaknesses. As you bring in the weaknesses, the strengths will grow. As the strength grows, the threats you will keep down because you're tweaking them, and the opportunities will open doors for you that you couldn't have done by yourself.
Thank you.
Did you write all that down, Ethan?
I wrote down most of it.
You just solved your life's problems, I think.
Yeah, I've been taking notes throughout.
I told you these women were going to be fantastic tonight.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've learned quite a bit. I'm just happy to be here. Frankly, I really appreciate the experience.
I want to tell all,
Dr.
if I could interject for one moment, do not be afraid to pick up the phone and call. Okay.
Yes.
Call, communicate, send emails. Ask questions, please. No question is too small or dumb at all. Please. You have not because you ask not. Okay? Please communicate.
Remember, everyone has made mistakes getting there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mhm.
Okay, Coach
Yeah, that's
Vaughn. Coach Vaughn.
Yes, a couple of quick things here that Dr. Fox, I just want to say, I really appreciate the fact because my gift is reading people. And so the character is what only thing we really own. So I appreciate you being a person of character. And you said something to make sure that Ethan, and all of us can learn every day, but you said something to make sure that they understood in a different language what you said, but the same thing, different language, is that and there's nothing fake about a chameleon.
Mhm.
Instead, again, there's nothing fake about a chameleon. You have to know when you're in a tree, you got to make brown, otherwise you get eaten up in a brown tree if you're not brown. So, and a green grass eaten up. So, and also make sure somebody said too as well to make sure that we all get that, especially Ethan again. Sometimes in life, what I teach my clients, you learn more from what not to do than what to do.
All right.
That's what we're so focused on learning what to do.
What to
That's
do.
the most misconstrued, misunderstood statement I think on earth. It's
I
about
have
learning not to
the
do.
best decisions and relationships. That concept.
That's right. Exactly. And also one last thing, everybody, Ethan, when I learned early in marketing, I was blessed to have when I was in college, a great manager. And he told me something that was very intimidating at first. And over the years, I've been very successful with, and when I was in the corporate world, I teach my clients now coaching, you have to hire your replacement.
Wow.
You have to hire somebody smarter
That's
than you.
good. That's
Do
good.
not be, if you're in a circle and you're number 8 in the circle, you're in the wrong freaking circle.
Mhm.
Right. That's right.
That's what
Exactly. You need to be able to learn from your team. This is not just,
Yeah.
you have got to be able to learn, like he's saying, from your team, feeding one another.
Exactly.
You don't know it all. You don't know everything. You cannot do it alone.
That's right.
Definitely, I agree with you, James. Your team has to know. You guys have to, someone has to know more than the other. Someone has to know a little bit more in that area than the boss in order for the company to operate correctly, So.
Good. I love it. Dr. D, do you have anything for us?
Hello, everyone. I am just listening. Believe me when I tell you that I ditto. Sometimes you'll be in a room, just listen and
Listen.
watch. Because what they're saying is so true. Sometimes, matter of fact, sometimes I act like I'm the dumbest one in the room.
Right.
Because I know they're going to say some stuff and think I'm not going to understand it. And I'm like, oh, what? And one thing that is important that everyone keeps saying, you have to learn to be bilingual.
Absolutely. On
And
so
that's
many.
something as a coach in that is my first subject matter that we have to get clarity in. And I call it language arts, because that makes a big difference. Sometimes people talk so much, and sometimes I do it. I have to catch myself and say, shut it up.
Dr. D,
And
I
listen.
want to add to that. I call it creative communication.
Yeah, but in the lesson, it's because a part of being bilingual is being creative, right?
Mhm.
That's a part of the learning. You just gotta understand that, and we as people must know we have to be bilingual. That's just the bottom line.
And
We
Dr.
have to learn
Fox,
how to.
And
Matter of fact, it's better to be multi-language
yeah.
right.
because
Yes.
sometimes you need to know more than 2 languages because it depends
Yes.
on the atmosphere that you're in.
Dr. D, I was just about to say that you have to listen, you have to know how to speak every language.
Right, you really do.
Energy language, body language,
Right.
character language. The
Yes.
chameleon, back to what James was saying, the
Yes.
chameleon. Oh,
Yes.
man.
But the
Dr.
most
Fox,
important language is a language of the spirit.
That's right.
Mm,
And
And
I'm
Dr.
finding that that's where people get caught up.
That's
all
right.
right.
They don't pay attention when it's about the spirit, the atmosphere.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's the most important language that you have to be cognizant of, no matter where you are and who's in the room. So once you learn to walk into a room ready to recognize and understand the spirit of the language, then you will start plugging into the way they walk, the way they stand, the way
Absolutely.
their eyes are, where their
Absolutely.
eyes are looking, and you will feel, because there's a spirit that's permeating in the atmosphere.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
And when you, and that's the key to my teaching my clients to learn the spirit, the language of discernment.
discernment, Dr. D, I was just about to say that, and please, just as she's saying, that's that language and that spirit of discernment. The first time that spirit says no, or you get
Right.
that gut, or
Yeah,
please,
right. Shut up.
And Dr. D, Dr. Fox, I'm sure you can attest to this. When you said we ought to know when to be quiet and
Mhm.
shut up, Dr. Fox, don't we all learn that when we're doing government contracts and we're trying to be nice, telling everybody what contract's coming out, and then one day you start learning that that person that you just mentioned the contract came in and took it from under you. Did we
Yes.
not learn? Did we not learn to
Right,
never tell our
Right.
own? I know that has happened to you.
Right. And get amnesia
Yes.
and
You're like, who
forget,
won that contract? Wait a minute.
right.
I told
And
you.
get amnesia even when you teach them, because I'm actually a certified capture manager for the government, teaching people how to do that. And Dr. Fox, you were so right. I'm listening and watching people and they think they're balling. And I'm like, you don't understand. There's over 900 T's you got to cross.
Mhm.
And you telling me you got a master's degree,
girl, you better preach it. I'm trying to
You
tell
understand
you.
what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
no, and I'm like, well, okay, but I'm telling you, there's over 900 T's you're gonna have to cross.
Telling you, ain't it? I have. I mean, I completely agree. And, it's been a times, Stephanie, I want to agree with you on this. It's so true. And it happens quite often. You have to speak the language, the spiritual language. You pay, the discernment is extremely important. Every language, all combined in one. There's so much that you're doing in this space. You have to be coherent on every
Mhm.
level.
Yes, you do.
Seriously.
Right.
But Stephanie, let me tell you something. That is so true. But the part where the contracts and what's available, move. Let me tell y'all something. Keep that inside. All right. That part about what's available out there, what you got, who own it, da da da. No, that part that moves in silence.
That's it. Hey, I've learned now to tell you the contract I won, but I will never tell you what I'm going after because I'm serious. I saw too many people that knew nothing. Next thing I knew, who got that contract? I told them about it. And then they won't.
It
No,
won't include
she'll
you
tell
in
you.
your expertise.
She will tell
in
you. That's how
order.
it works.
Yeah. That's
Dr.
it.
D, I wanted to share something with you. For 3 years, I led a group called, it's a networking group called Align, Define, and Achieve. And a doctor's roundtable I did the next day. And I had all these men that would come in and some would judge me. They thought my butt was too big. And I'd say to them, do you think that my butt is too big to teach you what I know? And they'd kind of stare at me if they were embarrassed. And I said, okay, well, let me prove to you who I am. And so by the time that we finished with this group, what I taught them was not to flip cards, but it's a spiritual alignment that you want. In fact, when I met Dr. Lee, it was all people of color and me. It doesn't seem right. I should be in this group. And I wanted to point
Yes,
out
it
to
is.
Dr.
It
Lee.
is right. It is right.
Yeah, and I
That's
told
right.
Dr. Lee, I said, hey, Dr. Lee, I mean, I'm a white person, right? And I can't be your only white person in this group. And sometimes I would say to myself, what is it about her that I know something good is going to happen? And what we did is we connect on a spiritual basis where color made no difference. Me being different made no difference. There was something powerful about her spirituality that I aligned with. And when we let go of the rest of the stuff, we had these great conversations that were very vulnerable, but it was an immediate spiritual connection that defied who I should normally connect with. And I don't know if you've all had that experience where the person you don't think you would connect with, you connect with, this God is saying, she's the one,
Because
he's the one. That person over there across from you on that side, the one that's wearing the mosquito shirt, he's your dude, not the guy wearing the $400 suit. Well, for James, that would be a $5,000 suit. So James, forgive me. But it's not the dude wearing the really pretty suit right beside you. I mean, I thought $400 was an expensive suit, James, until you start sharing with me what you're spending on suits. And there's a whole new level out there that I know nothing about.
well, you know what? The thing that I've learned in my 73 years is
Right.
it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. Because
All right.
you cannot be seen. The real you cannot be seen. And I found over my years that there is somebody in the room wearing a $12,000 pair of shoes and somebody over there with a $10 pair of Kmart's, and they absolutely got the key to the vault.
And
Because it's
y'all,
not what's on you, it's what's in you. For
Oh.
my nonprofit, the QOS group,
that's a
in
lot.
order to really let me know you're a part of the group, you have to go with me or go to a function, and from head to toe, you cannot have on any more than $25 worth of
Oh,
clothes.
wow.
I could do
50
that.
at the
I could
max.
do that. I can do that.
And look, you have to show me a picture, and I usually tell them the only place you're going to do that is at a Goodwill. And you have to show me a picture of you at the Goodwill
Ooh, that's hard.
with the receipt.
Dr.
And
D,
Somebody
then,
gonna catch you there.
Dr. D, I might have done that tonight.
no, but I'm serious, because I found that just because you wearing $10,000 worth of clothes, that doesn't mean what's in your head.
All
Because a
right.
lot of times I've found the value that they put is on what they have on and have no clue that it's what's in it that I'm looking for.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Brandy, I haven't heard from you tonight. I want you to come in on that. You know how we talk.
Well, you know, I am a shopaholic.
Yes,
And-
that's why I say I can't believe you're not talking about
Uh-oh,
that.
she's found you out.
I shop from Value Village to Nordstrom's Rack.
Yes,
Let
exactly.
me say this, and I tell some of the few people that I do dress, I tell them all the time, it is not what you wear, it's how you wear it.
Yes,
The
right,
clothes
exactly.
that make
Okay.
you make the clothes.
Yes.
So I can
right,
put you in a dress from Ross and kind of school you on how you're supposed to feel in that dress.
right.
And if you feel like that dress came from Saks, guess what? That dress came from Saks. So
All right.
I would take your challenge in a heartbeat, Dr. D. I can
Yes,
go from head to toe for $20 or less, and you would never know.
exactly. That's what I'm looking for. And this may sound a little crass, but I tell them, let me tell you something. A prostitute can wear a Coach pair of shoes.
Hello.
Red
A
bottom.
prostitute wear red bottoms. And
Exactly.
I've never seen a real woman wearing the red bottoms that they don't take them off within the next 15 minutes. And I deal with
I
women,
wish they could take them
females,
off. What is them?
right? I mean, females and me, we don't get along. I get along with women. Females, nah. I don't get along with females.
Okay, I like that.
Well,
I get along with women.
I have an appointment with my web designer. I hate to leave. I love
Well, we all have to leave because we are way over time. This
Over,
was
yeah.
so good tonight. This was so good. Look, it has revived me. But no, we've done an hour and a half, so that's going to be it for tonight.
Hey.
Now,
And
Dr. Lee, should we mention who's coming on next week? We have
yes, I was
Ethan.
about to say that. We can all suggest people to come on. And I was going to say, I know Lael has her guests already. Tell us.
It's going to be a little bit different, though. Ethan has been very vulnerable with saying where he is financially, what he wants to do in his life. And this is an opportunity for someone like you, Mr. Bond, to use your coaching skills to show us what you can do with someone like Ethan. And I'm waiting with my trusty red pen to see
Yes,
what you
yes,
can do,
yes.
my friend.
Thank you for coming on, Ethan.
Yes, and
Wonderful.
being so brave.
Yes, you're wonderful.
Thank you very much for having me. I do have one big ask for the group before we all depart this evening. Would any of you or all of you be willing to be a point of contact outside of this meeting, maybe via email, for me to advocate for myself and ask business advice, and maybe just bounce ideas off of, or come to if I have questions about growing my business, or kind of the next steps I need to take. Would any of you be willing to do that?
Oh, I think I definitely would be.
And I
Thank
think
you.
people have put their numbers in the chat, I hope.
I've got Miss Dr. Fox, I do.
Okay. And Coach Bond, he just said email him. And that's awesome. Man, you scored big tonight. I've been
would-
trying
He
to
did,
get
didn't he?
him. I've been trying to get him to coach me forever. He still hasn't done it.
Well, we're going to see what he's got this time, aren't we, Dr. Lee?
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
right.
There's Stephanie. Okay, great.
Thank
All
all.
right.
Thank you all.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Thank
And
you. Good
Night,
night,
Miss
everybody.
talk to you
Stephanie.
later. All right. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good
night.
night.
See everyone inside.
Good night.
Let's not
Good
forget
night.
our